requirements. We have a few bylaws changes and acceptance of new board members and re-election of current board members. So that's what we're going to do right now before we get to the final award. So I'm going to ask Casey Varela to come up as she's our right now nominating chair, which is going to change the bylaws as to becoming the board development nominating committee. I will start off with the first part of the agenda. The board of directors, in compliance with the bylaws of the association, elected officers of the board at its May meeting for the fiscal year 2011, beginning July 1st, 2010. It is my pleasure to introduce the membership of the association, the officers of the McGaw YMCA for the year 2010-2011. Those present, please stand when I call your name. Chair Vickie Burke. Vice Chair Susan Calder. She's here. Treasurer Dan Israelite up in front. And Secretary Sandra Hill very up in front. Congratulations and thank you for this is the second year that all these individuals will be serving on the executive committee in these positions. So thank you very much. In addition, as provided for in the bylaws of the association, the board also elected the following directors to serve on the executive committee. Jen Hazlett, please stand. Doug Hunold, who is on vacation, and Kirk Garner, I don't know who is here. Please stand. Thank you. Jen, Doug, and Kirk, thank you for doing that. Each of these men and women has agreed to serve you in this association in special leadership roles. And please join me in expressing appreciation to them. Thank you very much. All right, now the election of new board members, re-election of current board members. I'd like to ask Casey now to come forward and make a presentation.
Hello, everyone. My name is Casey Varela, and I'm the chair of the nominating committee, as Vickie said. It's my pleasure to bring to the membership of the McGaw YMCA two individuals selected by the nominating committee and endorsed for election by the board of directors as stipulated by the bylaws of the association, who are new board member candidates standing for election by the membership of the association to a 3-year term. Those present, please stand when I call your name. Alita Graves and Pam James. Thank you. You can now be seated. Members of the nominating committee will now briefly introduce to the membership each of the aforementioned candidates for election to the board of directors of the McGaw YMCA. It is my pleasure to introduce Sandra Hill, who will be introducing Alita Graves.
It is my distinct pleasure to introduce you to Alita Graves. I've known her for quite some time. I'll tell you a brief history about her. Alita was born in Puerto Rico, came to Evanston many years ago. She's married and has been married for 38 years to Horace, Chris as we call him. She has 4 children, Lydia, Ken, Robert, and Kathy, and 8 grandchildren. They have all participated in various programs at the McGaw YMCA. She was educated at Mundelein College of Loyola University and received her BS degree there. At National Louis University, she received an MS degree in the School of Management. 2004-2005, she served on the advisory board of the Greater Chicago Food Depository. 2001, she retired from IBM as an administrative operations manager. As I said, I met Alita many years ago at Ebenezer AME Church, where she has served in many capacities, working with youth, with seniors, with the homeless and others. Currently, she is Vice President of the Grant Women's Missionary Society, and she's been a member of Ebenezer since 1971. Also, she is the president of the Food Assistance Center for Evanston, which is a nonprofit organization dedicated to raising funds for various soup kitchens in Evanston. And we did some work together in the soup kitchen at Evanston. Since her retirement, she hasn't remained really retired. She has started her own designer jewelry business called In Essence, where she has been allowed to let her creative side show. And she's very good at it. Please join me in welcoming Alita Graves.
I'd like to call on Pat Mansell now to introduce Pam James.
Thank you, Casey. It's my privilege to introduce you all to Pam James. Pam is originally from Savannah, Georgia, and her Y roots started way back then. The Y was a big part of her community back then, and she was a part of that as well. She's been at the McGaw YMCA for 16 years. First, she started just to work out and has been engaged in the Y through the Children's Center, as well as youth sports for her two children who are now involved in activities here at the Y. Pam's undergraduate degree is from Columbia University in New York, and she has an MBA from Princeton. Professionally, Pam's worked for in finance and marketing, and has worked for such companies as Ford Motor Company and Abbott Labs. Pam's also very active in the community and a distinct community service member. She has just completed a 2-year term as the PTA president of Willard. And for those who've been PTA presidents, you know that is a very big job. So she's a highly qualified candidate both professionally. She's a tremendous example of a Y member who literally started at the Y as a child and continues to be a part of the Y community. And she's very committed to the Evanston community and community service in general. So I think you all agree she makes an excellent candidate, and I'm very privileged to bring her nomination to the board of the McGaw YMCA.
So on behalf of the nominating committee, I present for election to the McGaw YMCA Board of Directors the individuals named. I have been informed by the President CEO that he received no additional nominations by petition as permitted under the bylaws, and therefore I move that the aforementioned individuals duly presented to the membership of the association by the nominating committee and standing for election to the McGaw YMCA Board of Directors be elected by the membership of the association.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? I'm going for a vote. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you very much.
Okay. It is also my pleasure to bring to the membership of the McGaw YMCA the following individuals standing for re-election as stipulated by the bylaws of the association. They are current board members and are candidates for re-election to a second 3-year term. Those present, please stand when I call your name. Louis English, Freddie Greenberg, Dan Israelite, Bart Baca, and Casey Varela. On behalf of the nominating committee, I present for re-election to the McGaw YMCA Board of Directors the individuals named.
Okay, you can sit down now. Do I have a motion that the aforementioned individuals duly presented to the membership of the association standing for re-election to the McGaw YMCA Board of Directors be elected by the membership of the association? Matt, so do I have a second? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You're back on board. You're back on board.
Now we get into the really exciting stuff. The bylaw changes. The nominating committee of the McGaw YMCA has recommended to the board of directors that it endorse 2 changes to the bylaws of the association. The board of directors subsequently voted to endorse these changes and recommends that the membership of the association consider and vote their approval of the recommended changes. You are invited to review specifics of the proposed changes included in the notice to members dated May 28, 2010. The bylaws articulate the following with respect to amendments. Article 12 amendments. These bylaws may be amended by the vote of simple majority of the members of the association present at any other regular or special meeting of the association. Notice of the meeting and such proposed amendment shall be given to each member entitled to vote by prominent posting on the premises of the McGaw YMCA. The President and CEO has advised that such posting has taken place. The 2 proposed changes to the McGaw YMCA bylaws are consideration and approval by the membership of the association at the June 29, 2010 annual meeting include Article 6, Board Development Nominating Committee formation. The nominating committee has proposed and the board of directors has endorsed an amendment to the bylaws pertaining to nominating committee formation in order for 1, the committee to begin meeting soon after the start of the fiscal year. Historically, it hasn't started meeting until late fall. 2, to provide for both continuity and planned turnover on the committee. And 3, a name change from nominating committee from nominating committee to board development nominating committee, to emphasize the committee's evolution toward having a broader function, specifically board development.
Thank you, Casey. Do I have a motion to approve the recommended change to the bylaws? So, do I have a second? Thank you. I have a motion and I have a second. Do I have any more discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. Thank you very much. Last one.
Water, wow. This is a mouthful. So the second amendment, proposed amendment, is Article 5, duties of the Secretary and Treasurer. The nominating committee has proposed and the board of directors has endorsed amendments to the bylaws pertaining to the duties of the Secretary and Treasurer to specify certain committee assignments in order to assure their effective roles in the governance of the association.
Do I have a motion that the proposed amendments to Article 5, Section 5 and 6 of the bylaws of the association be approved by the membership of the association? So, do I have a second? Thank you. Any more discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Motion is carried. Thank you, Casey, and your committee for all the work they did. They did a tremendous amount of work this year to try and become a more efficient committee. And I thank you very much for doing that and your vote. And I think we have Sandra and Bart and Pat and Leslie, who are this year's committee members. So thank you very much for all your work.